What's up, my YouTube family? Welcome back to the Gaming Brigade, and there happen to be 3 exotics in the game that seem to be like the most popular ones that people are still trying to get, and that is the Scorpio Shotgun, the Memento Backpack, and the Lady Death SMG. Now, the first 2 were both in previous seasonal reward tracks, and I've put together videos on how to farm for them, but when it comes to Lady Death, that has always just been in the general loot pool. You can farm for it multiple ways. I put out a video in regard to farming it, I want to say maybe over a year ago, but today I wanted to do an updated version. Now, one thing I want to make sure I mention is that nothing has changed on how to get this weapon. It's all about targeted loot. However, today I wanted to show you some of the ways I've picked it up. Now, if you happen to be new to the channel, feel free to hit that subscribe or join button. Make sure you turn on those notifications. If you enjoyed this, you could hit that like button as well. And remember, we are currently having a giveaway for a PlayStation 5. To enter, all you need to do is subscribe here or follow on Twitter, and the winner will be announced on October 2nd of this year. We are going to go through a bunch of different things today, my friends, starting off with buying caches in the game. Now, one of the best things about the introduction of Countdown is that we have a Countdown vendor, and you can take those resources and buy exotic caches anytime you want. Now, they are a little bit expensive. However, it does give you the opportunity to at least buy a cache and hopefully get something you're looking for in it. And remember, there are 3 ways to get exotic caches on a weekly basis, and you'll find these under your projects tab when you open up your map. The 3 are the weekly summit project, the weekly shade requisition, and the weekly legendary mission, and all 3 of which will give you an exotic cache as a reward. Now, the only problem with the exotic cache is that it can contain any exotic that's in the general loot pool, so you may be looking for one thing, you wind up getting another, but at least you know on a weekly basis you do have multiple opportunities to hopefully pick up something you're looking for, and in this case, a lot of you are looking for Lady Death. Which now, my friends, brings me to the topic of farming, and as I mentioned a moment ago, it's all about targeted loot. Nothing has changed. However, now that we have Countdown, that has proven to be one of the most efficient ways to get a lot of loot in a short amount of time. Now, for me, when it comes to exotics and farming Countdown, it's really been hit or miss, and I know on this screen you're going to see 2 Lady Deaths in one room. However, this is the one and only time it's ever happened. I took a screenshot because I couldn't believe it, because for me, when I play Countdown, I usually get one exotic maybe every 20 to 25 attempts at best. Now, another thing that's happening for a lot of you is that you're farming, you're trying to get Lady Death, you wind up seeing that beautiful icon pop up and you're like, yes, Lady Death, and it turns out to be another SMG. Now, that could be something you're looking for as well. But remember, because there are 3 exotic SMGs in the general loot pool, one of 3 could drop at any time. You know that you have the Chatterbox, you have Lady Death, you have the Backfire, so hopefully, like I've said, the one you want is the one that actually drops for you. And as we make our way to the summit to show you a farming method there, one thing I want to point out is anytime you have SMGs as your targeted loot, look at the rewards you get. At the top of the screen, you can see it got Lady Death for clearing floor 6 on normal difficulty, so once again, these can drop at any time in the game at all. Most of you that have been at this channel for a while, you know how much I love farming floor 10 of the summit. It has been one of the best ways that I've gotten a lot of things I've been looking for in this game. Now, I have a dedicated video on how to do that, and I will leave that link in the video description down below. Now, one more thing I want to mention as we move on is I'm also looking for people who are trying to pick up the Scorpio, Memento, or Lady Death. If you play on Xbox, let me know your gamer tag. I will reach out and we'll put together some farming sessions and hopefully get everyone what they're looking for. And keep in mind, as I say that, I do my best to get back to everyone as quickly as possible. I'll be doing live streams again soon where people just jump into the game, we do some farming, you get what you want, you know, you wind up leaving, and then we put someone else in and try to help them get that gear. But again, if you are on Xbox and you're looking for help, please let me know. Now we're going to focus on farming for targeted loot in the open world, and most of you know this by now, but I'm going to go over it anyway. When you open up your map, you push up in the directional pad. That is going to show you what loot is in what location on that day. Now, this is from today. You can see Sokolov is behind the Beg headquarters, and if you wanted to try to farm Lady Death, you'd have to hit up the Capitol building, which can be a great place to farm, but again, you have to make it all the way through to get to the bosses, and for me, I've had most of my luck farming named bosses to get exotics to drop. Therefore, in my opinion, it's better to farm in an open world area than it is behind a mission. So like you saw on the map, there are small icons and large icons. So when you see the SMG as a large icon on the map, that is a day that you want to farm for Lady Death in that area because you are going to be able to hit up control points, and heroic ones always have 2 named enemies. You also have open world named bosses, you have bounties, so there are a bunch of ways to try to get the weapon. And as I start to wrap this video up, I want to pass along a few tips for new and returning different players, people just jumping into the game. Because remember, this weapon was never in a reward track. It has always been in the general loot pool, and for a lot of players out there, it has eluded you since the game came out. So first of all, I've been showing you footage as recent as yesterday, and some of this goes back to like 6-8 months. And the only reason I'm highlighting that is once again to stress the fact that farming with targeted loot has been and will always be at this point the most efficient way to try to get a certain item or weapon in the game. And the other thing is that I want to show you different ways to farm because it is so easy in this game to get burnt out. I mean, you'll hear people say, I get messages at the channel from people saying, I farmed 50 floors in a row, I didn't get anything. I hear other people say I was farming Countdown for like 6 hours straight, and they didn't see one exotic drop whatsoever. So in my opinion, friends, mix it up. Do some, Countdown, then do a few bounties, then run to the summit. I mean, I'll give you an example. So when I was trying to put this video together, I was completely hell-bent on getting Lady Death to drop on challenging in the summit. So I farmed that floor like 30, 40, 50 times in a row. And I was like, you know what, this just isn't working. So then I wound up dropping it down to normal. And you saw at the beginning of the video, I wound up getting it as a reward for clearing floor 6 on normal difficulty. I mean, it was one of those things where it's like I wasn't even trying at that point. I was trying to get back to floor 10 because I made a mistake. Whatever, it doesn't matter. But the point is, I wasn't even trying to get it and it dropped. So always keep your head on a swivel. Two more important details really quick. First of all, for those of you that use random matchmaking for a mission or control point or anything in the game, at the end of whatever you're doing, stick around for a minute because there are so many times people want to share items, and if you're not there, you could miss out on something you're looking for. Finally, my friends, always remember in this game, it's a looter shooter. It's all RNG. You're going to have good sessions and bad sessions. So, I mean, there are times where I can get 3 or 4 exotics within a 2-hour game span, and other times I'm not seeing anything for weeks. So again, mix things up and do not let yourself get burnt out. With all that being said, my friends, I want to take a moment and thank you all for your amazing support of this channel. One of the reasons I wanted to put the Lady Death farming video together out now is we have season 10 just around the corner. There are a pair of gloves called the Bloody Knuckles, and they are going to be perfect with this weapon, so I'd love everyone who hasn't gotten it yet to hopefully pick it up. Also, please remember, as I mentioned before, let me know if you're looking for help for farming anything on Xbox. I'm more than happy to help out if I can. Other people in the comments section, you can leave your info as well if you want to help gamers out. Again, all of you know the main goal at this channel is to help out as many people as we can. On that note, I'm going to let the rest of the video play out. However, like I mentioned at the beginning of this thing, if you happen to be new here, feel free to hit that subscribe or join button. If you enjoyed this, you could hit that like button as well. But most importantly, take care of yourselves, be kind to each other, and we will talk to you soon. Thanks again, everyone.
Procedures have been initiated. Last thing we need is a radioactive green poison. We need to find a way to relieve the pressure and fix the reactor's cooling system.
Reactor unstable. Emergency lockdown protocols activated. 15 minutes lockdown. Communication relay offline.